Hey, what's up guys, Grant here from Cardfight Vanguard, and today we're bringing you guys a Spike Brothers Bad and Dragger slash the Emperor build, and this is Jason's deck, so he will be doing the deck profile on it. But before we get to the deck profile, I'd like to apologize for not uploading any videos, but we will have videos up very soon. Our case opening that needs to be uploaded, and our 2014 Cardfight Vanguard Regionals vlog. So yeah, those will be uploaded soon, and yeah, let's get straight into the deck profile.
Well then, let's start off with the grade 0. We have Mecha Trainer, which is basically a Conroar, which is basically a card so good it had to be banned. Basically the card lets you combat 1, you retire it, and then you get to search your entire deck for any grade 1, regardless. Very useful in pretty much any Spike Brothers deck, so yeah. And then we have triggers, which are going to be 8 criticals, which they only have 8. After that, it's going to be 4 draw. The only reason you play draw is because there aren't 12 crits. And then the standard 4 heal.
Now why do you play draw in such a heavy deck and not play stand, since you want to be as aggressive as you can?
Because in this deck, after attacking, the rear guards return to the deck, so stand actually has no use whatsoever. At all. Which makes me sad, because I love stand triggers. Okay, first for grade 1s now, we're going to have the 3 Reckless Express, which basically, if this unit attacks, which you probably don't want a grade 1 to attack, but this is special, because when it attacks you can Soul Blast 1, and for the battle it'll gain plus 5,000, but at the end of the battle, it will return back to the deck.
Now why do you only play 3, since this is such a good early aggressive card?
Because there are other grade 1s, and again, this uses Soul Blast, and I don't want to use it too much, even early on. After this guy would be for Medicine or Medical Manager. Basically, when this card is either rode or called on the rear guard, you can soul charge the top card of your deck. This card's useful for cards like Reckless over there, since it basically is adding ammunition to the soul.
Now why do you only play 3? Because since the soul charge is 1 card, and since you want as much soul as you can in order to use FS like this, like early on, why do you only play 3 then?
That will be explained when I get to the grade 3s. After that, I play 4 8K Vanilla. This is just so I have power throughout. Even when this attacks, it's still good, and really in Spike Brother you really don't need too much effect. And lastly, just 4-0 shields for the defense. Moving on to the grade 2s. First off, we have 4 copies of High Speed Bracky, which is basically a grade 2 version of Reckless Express's Soul Blast 1, and gains 5,000, and then returns to the deck after the battle. Again, this is basically just grade 2 version, so you have a stronger rush. After that, I play 4 Panzer Gales, which are basically 10k intercepts. The reason why I would play 10k intercepts in this deck is because this deck is basically super hyper offensive, and just having these on the field increases your defense, since most opponents will waste attacks trying to retire these first. So you can sort of direct your opponent's attention to your rear guard instead.
Oh, so why don't you play Field Driller?
Field Driller may add cards to your hand, but it's a 7k base. So instead of Field Driller, I have 10k Vanillas Panthers.
So why do you only play 2 Panthers, since they're 10k Vanillas?
Because in this deck, the other grade 2s have more value to them. Plus, you only really need 2 Vanillas. Now then, we're moving on to the awesome meat of the deck. We're moving on to the grade 3s. First off, we have the card that basically makes the deck work. Bad and Dragger.
Now since this is a break card, why do you only play 3?
3 is because already in this deck it uses a high amount of grade 3s. So I'm trying to cut back on their use. And really, you don't really need too many. Typically 3-4 is enough for break ride units. Dragger's skill is basically, once you break ride, he gains 10,000, and for the rest of that turn, all rear guards that attack gain 10,000 to them, and at the end of the battle, return to the bottom of the deck. So even if it's a card like Wonder Boy, which is the 8k vanilla, or Panther 10k vanilla, they'll gain a 10,000 boost and return to the bottom, which basically turns any card into a deadly attacker. And then, who combos well with this guy would be the Great, the Magnificent, the Emperor of the Dudleys, Dudley Emperor. Which is when this unit attacks, you can counterblast 2 and soul charge 2 cards from your hand to superior call any 2 units to open rearguard circles. And since Dragger forces units at the end of their attack to return to the deck, you basically gain 2 more attacks, and since the break right skill lasts for the entire turn, it's basically GG when you get this off. And which is also one reason why I only play 2 Medical Manager, since he requires me to soul charge 2 cards in the first place. And then lastly, I have the last grade 3 Juggernaut Maximal, which is the grade 3 version of Bracky and Reckless Express.
Okay, now why do you play 3 Juggernaut Maximum? Because right now you have 9 grade 3s, and usually a deck it's not seen with 9, but rather like 7 or 8.
Well, one reason is because if one of these guys goes into the soul, or goes to the damage zone if you only play 2 of them, then basically your offensive capabilities are like cut in half. Which really, if you can get him on both attacks, it is really GG at this point, since, again, with Banner Drake's effect and his own effect, which is Soul Blast 1 and gain plus 5,000, he's attacking with 26 with no boost. With boost, which is either 7 or 8, he'll be hitting for 33 or 34. Which is so that without even any triggers at all. So that is what I am running for my Spike Brothers. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the bottom and have a good day.
Alright, also be sure to check out SR Cardfighter's Facebook and Instagram page. Links will be down below in the description. Be sure to follow and like for latest updates. And yeah, this is Grant and Jason signing out from SR Cardfighters.
Bye.